are you?
All right, thanks.
Good. Thank you for doing your testimony. So just to kick off, do you want to just say, who you are, what you do, and maybe just an interesting fact about yourself?
I'm Tom. I'm a teacher at a special needs school, and an interesting fact is I have a twin brother.
That's very interesting. I love it. So just to kick off, what was your life like before you became a Christian, or before you came to know Jesus?
My life was pretty good. I was happy. I didn't really have anything. I played football a lot. I worked at school, and had a really nice family life, and just generally thought life was good. Had a few good close friends. Spent most of my time with them playing games and playing football.
Decent. So over that time, did you have any real sort of connection to faith, or was faith just quite a distant thing for you?
I grew up in a C of E school, so I knew there was a God, but wasn't really sure what it meant to be a Christian. And my parents had always kind of instilled, be good, do the right thing, and kind of followed that through. But then kind of didn't really know what faith was, but knew there was something more. Knew there was the chance of a God, and needed to kind of follow these rules that were there to help me have a good life.
Amazing. So what was it that maybe changed from the perspective you just kind of mentioned? What was it that brought you to the place where your faith became real and you grew a relationship with God?
So when I was 15, my best friend died, and it was a bit of a shock. No one really saw it coming at 15, but he was 13. I started spending time with another friend, and more time with that other friend, who went to a youth group that was run by a church on a Saturday evening. So he was like, look, come along. You don't have to be going to a church to enjoy it. I don't, and I enjoy seeing the people, so went along. Eventually, me, my brother, and this friend, we ran out of excuses not to go on the Sunday, because every Saturday they asked us if we'd go the next day. We ran out of excuses, so went on Sunday. At this point I was like, there can't be a God. My friend wouldn't have died if there was, and over time kind of came to learn that there was something that I needed and something that I was missing, and they kept going, look, do you want to come to this, do you want to come to this, and kept inviting us. And I kind of went, alright, may as well give it a go. I've got nothing to lose, and I was realising I needed something more. And we agreed to go to this conference thing, which is a youth camp called Soul Survivor. And while there, just before going, I twisted my knee, and I couldn't really walk. I was hobbling around, and definitely couldn't play sport, which was a big part of my life at the time. And went to this place. I wanted to go to this seminar, which was all about sport, and the youth leader turned around and went, no, you're coming to this prayer and healing seminar. And I was like, well, no, that's weird. But she refused to take no for an answer, and kind of went, no, you're coming. And so I kind of went along with, probably should be good and do what I'm told. Went along, and someone was praying for a knee injury that had happened during football. And at the time I was kind of too shy and embarrassed to go, yeah, that's me. And then for the rest of the day my knee was shaking, and in the evening all of the pain suddenly disappeared in my knee. So I kind of went, that's weird. I don't really know what to think of this here. And my friend turned to me and went, that's the sign you've been after. That's the sign that there is a God. He's answered prayers about a pain that you've got, and he's healed you. You've got no reason not to become a Christian now. So I kind of went, all right, said I was going to become a Christian at that point, and then carried on living my life as I had been before, not really making much of a commitment. And a few weeks later I broke my arm in 4 places. Was told I'd be in a cast for 12 weeks, and I had 5 pins in my arm. And I was like, well, I really don't like that idea. Like 12 weeks without being able to really move my arm wasn't particularly a good thought. So I went to the same, some friends I'd met while we were there, and said, look, can you, like, we've seen it works once, can we try again? And so they prayed for my arm, and 2 weeks later I went back for the first x-ray, asked about the pins in my arm, and the doctor took a look at the x-ray and said, there's no pins. And I was out of the cast in 6 weeks. I was back playing football in 8 weeks. And at that point I kind of went, no, God is real now. Like, I've had one sign and now I've had another. God is real. And became far more committed with what I was believing about God at that point.
That's an incredible story, Tom. So yeah, thank you for sharing that. But just alongside that, so how did life then change after you became a Christian?
I think I gained a hope and something to cling to. So I kind of knew what the future would hold in terms of heaven and kind of the glory with God. And it's supported me through harder times, but it's also supported me through the good times as well. I know where I'm going. I know what's going to be happening in the future, and kind of I'm now able to live my life accordingly. I think another thing it's done is I've looked outwards more than looking inwards. So I've looked at supporting others and doing what's right for others rather than just what I think benefits me. I think that's really helped and changed the way I've looked at life. Yeah, I think that's the biggest changes.
Amazing. Well, thank you for sharing your story with us. And yeah, just cheers for that.
Not a problem.